Hello everyone, I'm bringing to you a team that I ran most of last season for the Ultra Premier, and I really enjoy it. I really like Ultra Premier. I think it's got all the best things about Great League without having that stupid gormless blue blob taking over the room. This season, last night I played all my matches just after the league opened, and I brought out the team I used quite well last season that I enjoyed, and it did quite well. So what we've got is a Gallade with Confusion, Leaf Blade and Close Combat. We've got an Empoleon with Waterfall, Hydro Cannon and Drill Peck. They form our core pair, which basically means the two of them together cover pretty much all of the meta. There's a few things that they don't like both, but mostly you've got to play against everything. And in the Switch we've got a Shadow Snorlax. This got Shadow bonus. It's not as tough as a Snorlax, so it does play a little bit differently, but it's got a lot of force behind its body slam and superpowers, which means it's actually quite good at putting on some shield pressure on my opponent. The idea of the team is basically to build up the energy for close combat on the Gallade, sometimes switch out, sometimes just throw it straight away, and then safe switch to the Snorlax to catch whatever they throw back in return. At least that's the idea. It doesn't always play out that way, but hopefully you'll see how this goes. I've got some 10 matches for you now, and I'm going to just play them all straight away. I think I didn't actually run into the same team twice in any of my matches, except for maybe once I saw Machamp, Gengar and Snorlax, but in a different running order. So this whole meta is beautifully varied, has a whole huge variety of matches, and I love it so much. So we're going to kick off with our first match. This team had me going, I think I got 18 wins last night out of the 25 I played, which I think is a pretty good rate. You know, that's not shoddy at all. So we're going to lead into a Scizor or Scissor, and we're just going to build up that energy on the Gallade and go for the switch. And they'll probably throw a Night Slash at us at this point. See, we banked the charge move on the Gallade, so we're going to bring that back later, and we're going to build up two superpowers here now. We're going to eat a Hydro Cannon, and we just can't tank as well as we could. The drawback of Shadow Snorlax is a bit more fragile, but we're going to go back to back with the superpowers. They really can't afford not to block these, so we're going to go 2 for the price of 1 on their shields. That's good for me. That's set up some shield advantage, and well, they've got no shields left, so right now I can just bring in a close combat. They catch a Hydro Cannon on me, so they did farm the energy successfully, but they switch on us. So okay, we land on something where it's neutral, but look at that, just straight kill. So we're going to go for a Leaf Blade next. We're not, they're going to take us out. The downside of this is Confusion does make it hard to sneakily switch on them. But Empoleon versus Empoleon isn't a bad matchup. I can farm them for energy, they don't get to a charge move. And they've got the Snorlax in the back, so we're just going to go straight into Hydro Cannons, throw a Hydro Cannon, and there we go. Half health down. Next Hydro Cannon coming through. This probably isn't going to quite finish it off, but the waterfalls are going to. There we go. There we go. Good game to my opponent. And complete the quest for Battle Another Trainer. There we go. And next up we have Gallade leading into a Snorlax. So again, we threaten this with our close combat, but the lick damage does add up a bit on us. They switch on us to a Charizard, so we go into a Snorlax. I probably should have gone into the Empoleon at this point, but that's okay, because Snorlax does fine against everything. We'll body slam them, and we're going to go for another body slam. No, we're not. We're going to wait for them to hit them with probably a Blast Burn. There we go. So Snorlax is still not quite as bulky, but that hasn't quite flattened us. But now they're going to take us out. That's okay though. We've taken a shield from them, and we've done quite a bit of damage. The Empoleon's going to farm them down. There we go. One shield down, and we've got an energy lead. Gyarados is one which we can take on quite handily because we resist their moves, and we throw neutral from the Drill Peck. We've got to watch out for their crunches. They hurt a little bit, but the Aqua Tails and the Dragon Breath, there we go. Not a big deal. So there we go. Return fire with a Peck, and there we go. Take off most of their health, and out comes Snorlax. So same again. We're just going to shield that and let the body slam come and throw a Hydro Cannon, and this might well pop that last shield off them. There we go. No, they let it land. That's okay. We're going to let this go through. We do still have the energy loaded on our Gallade, so we can just throw a couple more Confusions, finish off the Snorlax and Leaf Blade the Gyarados at the back. See, I'm practicing my pronunciation. My pronunciation consultants were telling me I was getting it all wrong. I'm sure I'm going to mangle a few for you later though. Thank you very much to my opponent. Broken Toys 23. Hello, what have you got for us? Gallade into Machamp. So, great lead for us. Out comes a Snorlax. We're just going to build up the energy, and we're going to take a Body Slam. I'm going to shield that because Gallade is very squishy, and we're just going to go straight into close combat. If this lands, then this will do them a huge amount of damage. If it doesn't, it will equalise. Oh, look at that! It's one hit, and out comes Gengar. So that's a good matchup in some ways, in that we hit them really hard, but they hit us really hard. So we go into the Snorlax to keep that confusion user alive for the Machamp, nibble away at the Gengar, and there you go. Out comes Machamp. It's quite strong against Snorlax, but again, if we land a Body Slam, we're not going to, but we're going for another one. Are they going to let this one come through? And there we go. So they're still taking a hefty chunk off, even no shields. But we still get the Leaf Blade in the back. So with their shields going low, we're going to take the last one and straight into the War Penguin. This isn't such a great matchup because obviously the fighting damage is super effective versus the steel, and Cross Drop is so very spammy, so they are going to land one on us. But Cross Drop doesn't hit that hard. I mean, it's not enough to take us out, so we're going to win with just Waterfalls. Into our next match. Here we go with another matchup, and Dragonite. Okay, so Dragonite's quite a solid matchup with this. We do hit for neutral with Confusion, and actually they're quite prone to not shield in close combat. I think that's hilarious whenever they don't, because it is resisted by them, but let's see if they let this one land. It's quite and there we go, just taking out Dragonite, goodbye. Typhlosion, this could be a bit more of a problem for us, because that's actually quite good against the Empoleon. Blast Burn is a monstrous move. Even when it's neutral, it will still do you a lot of damage. But we nibble them away with Waterfalls. They are going to get to another Blast Burn, so you get to see how much it does. There we go, look at that. That's almost one shot, and they've got a Grass Type in the back. That's bad news for us. They've got two shields, they've got Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant is a very dangerous move, it does a lot of damage, and when it hits even neutral, it will take you apart. So I think I'm in trouble here. So there we go, we've got the next shield off, and no, not quite. They're going to get to their Frenzy Plant. I'm hoping I can take them out with a couple of Confusions, and it will. Sorry, I put the Drill Peck, but no. I think landing the Drill Peck might have won, but they still have the shields left, so there's just no chance. Into Dr. Crazy Crab's match, we go in Gallade against Snorlax. So we're just going to see, again, going for cheeky close combat to see if they want to shield it. Snorlax doesn't like to shield very often, it's a bit like a Zoomer in that sense, so we're just going to throw the nuke, and there we go, goodbye. We're going to switch immediately to clear the debuff, and it's a Charizard. Again, probably should have gone to Empoleon, but I didn't want to take any hits when I've got the defense debuff. Gallade is that squishy. So we're just going to soak up some of their energy and throw some Body Slams at them and see if they want to shield. Put some shield pressure on, and out comes Body Wrath. Also good because the Confusion hits super effective, and so does Leaf Blade. We're going to nibble away. Body Slam doesn't do a huge amount there, but as you can see, it's taking a good chunk off, and Dynamic Punch puts us down straight away. That's okay, we'll get Confusion onto them, and there we go. The trick with Gallade is very much you're relying on Confusion to do a lot of your work, and you're using your charge moves to just kind of finish the job. In some ways it's a little bit like Victory Bell in that sense, for much the same reason. Got more energy gain though, and there we go, that's a close combat landing. It was resisted, but it still took a big chunk off. And then we just Waterfall down the Charizard. Then we go into a Lapras, and here we've got a interesting matchup in that our Leaf Blades and close combats do quite a lot of good, and they bring out a Venusaur. Okay, that's quite bold because Confusion will be taking chunks off this. Frenzy Plant does still hit very hard, but we've got our shields in play, and as you can see, they didn't get to a second one. Out comes a Togekiss. That does in fact resist both our charge moves, so we throw a Leaf Blade just to throw them off the scent, and then Snorlax them. Snorlax will slap it with the Body Slams. Charm damage does add up. One of the big threats to Gallade is Charmers, because it hits for super effective and it's not very tough, and you can't shield it. So Lapras comes out, we throw the superpower. Again, this debuffs us, but does actually quite a large amount of damage. You can see inside there, 85 plus 17 on a shadow. And we can bring the Gallade back in, shield their Surf probably, yeah, and throw the Leaf Blades. And we've got almost enough for two back to back. We'll certainly get to one before they get to their next Surf. No, not quite. Okay, the Surf will take us out. Slow fast moves will do that. But Empoleon versus Lapras is a good solid matchup. They can't really hit us for anything particularly hard. Even the Skull Bash will be bouncing off the steel, so we can just farm them down. Out comes a Togekiss, and we'll go straight into Hydro Cannon. And there we go. Goodbye Togekiss. And out comes the Lapras, and we'll just finish this off with a Hydro Cannon. Probably would have done okay with Waterfall. It's got quite low health, but might as well use the energy if we've got it. Into our next match, and here we go with Gallade into a Machamp. Again, good strong lead. We hit for super effective, and Sizor comes out, and this is going to be a Night Slash. This does hit us for neutral because of the typings, so actually don't really need to shield Night Slashes, but might as well preserve the health for later when know you've got a good matchup. Snorlax comes out again, sponge for the charge moves. Night Slash nibbles away at it, which is going to build up to a double body slam, and then drop one to take out. And there we go. Quite low health. They're probably not going to shield at this point. I don't pop all the bubbles in the hopes that it leaves a bit of health left, but it's not going to work out that way. Should have thrown a move there on the Machamp, but so it goes. We're just going to come in straight with Confusion and peck away at it with the Confusions. And there we go. Into the Leaf Blade. This should take quite a bit of health off, and we'll go for another Leaf Blade because we get them back to back. And we're going to get to the third Leaf Blade. No, not quite. Okay, so they're going to take us down. This means we've got the counter user against our Steel type and Venusaur in the back. That's bad news for us. That's going to take us down. Frenzy Plant, it's not as bad as it used to be because now Empoleon does have Drill Peck. It can still do quite a lot of damage, but they're going to get to their move before us. Even then, though, that's looking pretty close. A couple more Waterfalls, we might have done it. Good game to my opponent. Well played. And next out we have Gallade into a Charizard. Charizard seems fairly popular, as does Venusaur. They're right near the top of the rankings. We're going to catch whatever they throw at us. That's Dragon Claw. Bit of a wasted shield, but we're going to throw the close combat in return. They probably know that we can't hit them for super effective, but they shield anyway. So that's a good move on my opponent's part, because even resisted a close combat does a lot of damage. But we do quickly switch into the Snorlax. Blast Burn almost one-shots us, and then comes the Swampert. That's good, because we like Swamperts with Leaf Blades, so we're just going to nibble away at that and try and get to a double body slam. They're farming us for energy by the looks of it, so they've got a bit of an energy lead now. But not much health left, so hopefully one Confusion or two will take it down. And there's the Hydro Cannon. Do they have another one ready? Yes, they do. So, but we've got a shield, so they won't have three. They don't have the energy for that, so we're just going to finish them off with Confusion. Don't underestimate how much damage Confusion does. It's quite similar to Dragon Breath in that sense. It does quite a lot of damage for its energy gain. It's just very slow with it. And a Flygon in the back, which, okay, if they can get to an Earthquake, we have a problem, but Hydro Cannon will hurt them quite a lot as well. And we should be able... Okay, we'll find out how much that Earthquake hurts. Oh, Earth Power, sorry. Oh, Community Day move. That's an interesting one, but that's okay. Gallade will come out and bring us a Leaf Blade. There we go. They would shield that. I probably shouldn't have actually even thrown it because that was one less Confusion. But even so, victory. Thank you to my opponent. Next up, a bit of a laggy start. Okay, Charizard again, and Dragon Claw. We shield it. We go for the close combat. And are they going to let this land? They do let this land. So we almost take that out, and we switch to the Snorlax to finish it off. Kind of a slight energy lead. We're down a shield, but they're down a Pokemon, so that's fine. And out comes a Shadow Gallade. So that's an interesting one. I haven't seen one of those for a while. And we body slam it. They've got the squishy problem, but more so than us. So they farmed up a little bit of energy and then switched because they realised lick damage was hurting. Aqua Tail on the Snorlax does a bit, but not enough to matter. And we throw body slam straight back. There we go. Another body slam. And we might get to another one. There we go. Just about get to another one. Don't try and farm down a Snorlax. It's got too many hit points. There we go. So that cost them an extra shield. We're going to come straight back in with the War Penguin and start building up an energy lead. Waterfall should do enough damage to farm down this Gyarados. And a Gallade comes out. They're going to almost certainly throw a close combat or a Leaf Blade at us. That will hurt because it does a lot of damage. But the Hydro Cannon in return will also... Well, there we go. Goodbye. And that's a good game to my opponents. I think they conceded before we put them down, but it was pretty much a sure thing. And then next up we have an Ampharos lead. Ampharos was a pain last season because this team doesn't really like the combination of electric damage on the Empoleon and a Focus Blast on the Snorlax. So we shield it with this one and try and stay in. They switch out to a Dragonite. Now, there we go, even resisted, that took a big chunk of the health off. We bring the Empoleon to keep it away from the electric type. It's a big threat to this, and Dragon Claw doesn't do a lot of good, Dragon Breath doesn't do a lot of good, Hurricane doesn't do a lot of good. We can throw a drill peck in return, but what we're actually doing right now is just farming it down and getting up a nice big energy lead. Low health, plenty of energy, great place to be. Ampharos comes back in, that is going to cause us problems, but if they let the Hydro Cannon land, that will take them down. Okay, they don't, but we have got both their shields off them, and didn't have too much energy lost to the discharges. Thunder Punch comes in, and we go straight to a Leaf Blade, over-tapping a little bit there. I'll pretend it was deliberate to get a bit more energy lead, and a Venusaur in the back, so that's good for us. It's still going to hurt, but we're going to go for it. We're going to go for close combat, because Leaf Blade is double resisted, and close combat is only single resisted. But even then, you can see it's taking a massive chunk off, and we get to it before the Frenzy Plant, so that's done some good, and we've still got a full health Snorlax in the back. And thank you, and good night. Game over. Right, there we go. 10 matches. I don't think I saw the same team twice. I mean, it's a few Charizards, a few Venusaurs, a few Snorlax, but the team compositions are lovely. They're all varied and interesting, and I feel this team does really very well. Like I say, I got 18 wins out of 25 last night with it. I hope you enjoy it, and let me know if you're thinking of using anything similar. If I run into a mirror matches, because I haven't seen any lately, and you win, you owe me a beer, just for the insight of giving you into my team. Thank you, have a good day.